Misha Petrov is wrong about non-binary.
Maybe what you really mean is that you don't feel like you enjoy stereotypically feminine, activities or things, or stereotypically masculine activities.
Except that's not why I identify as non-binary. How are you going to debunk something you don't even know about? I'm non-binary because the word non-binary is used to describe a gender identity in which one doesn't prefer being referred to as one or the other for all of their life. I fit under that. I completely lack a preference for being referred to as one or the other. Lacking that preference or identity related to gender or sex is referred to as agender. And that falls under the non-binary umbrella. And none of this is saying that there's biological characteristics that don't exist. This is just saying how I identify. That's it. That's all there is to it.
Because non-binary people will say, I don't feel like a woman. I don't feel like a man. What do you mean by that?
Misha, when you ask a question like that, you're supposed to wait for a response, not just completely move along and run with your own little narrative. People say they feel like this or that because that's how they like to be called. I don't feel like a man or woman because men and women like being called men and woman. Okay? I don't feel like a man because I don't prefer being called a man. I don't feel like a woman because I don't feel like being called a woman. I know that LGBT people can often be vague about how they explain these things, so I do think that we need to go more in depth about these to people who are clueless about it. But I can say with full certainty that trans and non-binary people don't say they feel like or don't feel like because
You don't feel like you have the body parts of a man, or you don't have the body parts of a woman?
no! At most, some people prefer to have or not have certain body parts associated with sex. But we are not delusional. We don't think anything that is not true. Stop that. Before you embarrass yourself and attempt to debunk non-binary, actually ask people what non-binary is. So sorry sis, but people who actually know what they're talking about, they know that non-binary makes sense. It does make sense. I'm sorry. Like, you can't change that.